I think besides the Bermuda's Triangle and how mini-golf works, the appropriate time to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the world's greatest mysteries. Still to this day, people speculate and debate on the best way to watch it. I remember for a distinct portion of my life, I met someone who hated this film because he didn't know when to view it. And I know since there are so many people that will already type in the comments their opinions, I figure I might as well just answer this question for everyone. Because if anyone knows an overcomplicated way to figure something out, it'd be this guy. So let's take a look. Looking at things normally is overrated anyways. Back in 1982, Tim Burton wrote a little poem, inspired from looking into a store and seeing both Halloween and Christmas decorations up at the same time. Appropriately, he titled the poem The Nightmare Before Christmas. Later made into a kid's storybook and displayed upon the shelves with the same name in 1993.
Well, I grew up liking those stories. Like every Christmas you'd watch things like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or like The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Those were my favorite holiday specials when I was growing up. So when I was working at Disney, I designed something that's sort of like the reverse of that. It's about this character who finds Christmas and loves it and decides to try to do it himself.
Coinciding with the film adaptation that was set to release the same year. Things proved to be a challenge though when the film was spending 3 years in production. While Tim Burton didn't, yes you heard that right, direct the film, he helped immensely with bringing it to life. I hate it when people misunderstand that.
Tim very much developed the story, the concept, the main characters, the tone, the look.
There were 15 animators and 8 film crews all working simultaneously, and 20 different sound stages just to bring this film to life. Each soundstage was filled with 230 sets, each spanning 24 feet long, and everything was shot in 24 frames a second. This is what's called making a film. It might be kind of hard to understand that, but this is how you make a film. I say this because, well, I'm a filmmaker, and it's important to know these kinds of things sometimes. But more importantly, better understanding how this film was made gives us a better picture on how to view it. And when to view it, more specifically. I mean, all those 230 sets gotta count for something, right? Right? So I took the liberty of trying to find every single one of those 230 sets that they had built. I can definitely tell you in confidence that I've definitely come up short, but I was able to come up with a very decent enough looking ratio of Halloween to Christmas in this film. Most of the film takes place in Halloween Town. The only exceptions here are Christmas Town and they don't really give it a name, so let's just call it America. Considering most of our film takes place in various locations of Halloween Town, I would say Halloween takes up at least 80% of the film. That leaves Christmas Town with 10%, and America with 5%. I apologize if my math was off there. Christmas Town is only on screen for a 3-minute song, and then barely a minute when Santa gets kidnapped. And aside from Santa showing up at several different points throughout the end of the film, that's about it for anything related to Christmas. And as for... it barely has any screen time at all. And that's including Poor Jack. You know, the song that Jack sings in the cemetery. Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't know why it's called that. Hey, everyone, editor guy here. 2 seconds. They give a reason for why the music is the way it is, and I just failed to realize that after recording, so yeah, enjoy my stupidity right here.
And there was the storyline that Tim had from years earlier.
We didn't start out going, it should be this or that. It sort of grew from the images in the story and took on a life of its own.
We were running out of time, and I just said, well, I'll just start writing some of the songs based on what we talked about. He'd come over and he'd listen to it, and then I'd say, let's just talk about the next section of the movie. And we'd talk about it and tell me, oh, and he does this and that. And I said, great, great. And as soon as he left, I'd immediately go and start writing that next song that got us through the next period. And 3 days later, I'd call him back, and he'd come and he'd listen, oh, great. And now describe the next couple of scenes.
Anyways, the themes of Halloween seem to be more prominent than anything else in this film. So it would seem Halloween has the upper hand, but this is where the Christmas side of things comes in. For as much power as Halloween has in this film, the film seems to cater to a more Christmas-like message. And I think it makes a lot of sense in retrospect. The film is literally about a guy trying to figure out what the meaning of Christmas is. And may or may not also be about him having an identity crisis.
You don't look like yourself, Jack. Not at all.
Isn't that wonderful? It couldn't be more wonderful.
But you're the Pumpkin King.
Not anymore. And I feel so much better now. You're right. Something is missing. But what?
There's also a lot of introspection and appreciation for what you have. Something It's a Wonderful Life and A Christmas Carol have as well. By all accounts, it makes total sense. Not just with the idea of the original story, but also with the narrative that the filmmakers wanted to drive home. And it would seem I'm not alone on an island with this idea. From the looks of things, based on a poll I put out a few days ago, everyone seems to think... Wait, hold on, go back. What? That can't be... Actually, no, that makes too much sense. It would seem, much like Jack, I've become obsessed with something I have no control over. In an attempt to prove where a film belongs in terms of its viewing pleasure for a heated online debate, I found that there really isn't an answer. Why should one put emphasis and, more importantly, force the idea that a film is meant to be watched around a certain period or season of time? Is it a helpful recommendation for viewing pleasure? Sure, but that shouldn't define the film. If someone wants to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas in, say, spring or early January, then by all means, go watch it then. There's nothing stopping you. There will be some specific times in the year when I watch Fantastic Mr. Fox and it's not even close to fall. Why? Because I want to. Because I love the film that much. Who cares if someone says I should only watch it around fall? And I think the same thing goes for Over the Garden Wall as well. But if someone is looking for a specific answer of when to definitively watch The Nightmare Before Christmas, this is my answer. Be like my viewers and watch it at both seasons. I did that this year and it was actually pretty amazing. I got two completely different experiences almost back to back. And I personally believe that the more you think about this, the more it makes sense. The film is literally called The Nightmare Before Christmas. And with that in mind, it almost makes too much sense to watch it back to back during those times of year. And truly, I think that's by design. It not only invites viewers to participate in something unique and interesting, but also serves as a really unique and honestly beautiful Christmas and Halloween film. All in one. And I think that's truly astonishing in every possible way. And I hope maybe you'll enjoy The Nightmare Before Christmas just a little bit more now that we've had this discussion. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, and Happy Holidays to you all. Hey, you want to see more videos from me? Well, donate to my Patreon so I can eat. I understand a single dollar is hard to come by, especially in this economy, but every little bit helps. Plus, that $1 will not only get you access to everything, but it will also get your name in the credits of every video that I make. So join today. Thank you all for watching.